Wake up, Black people.
Good morning from the Crystal Coast of North Carolina. As we face a rise of anti-intellectualism and revisionist history, I feel like it's time to add to my stories some true stories from my childhood living in the South. I want you to know what you're up against, guys, when you're up against these racists. I grew up in a decent family, church going, the whole 9 yards. But when I was a child sitting around the table with my elders at my grandfather's house, it was quite frequent. There would be stories about racist acts. And the one I'm going to tell you today is the worst thing that I ever heard as a child, and what estranged me from my family from an early age because of the hideous nature of it. It's called the scalding pot. Once, when I was a child, I was arguing something with my grandfather about civil rights, and he just preempted the conversation, and he told a story that he found quite humorous. It was about his neighborhood in northern Forsyth County, North Carolina, near Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and how there was this black man who had done some malfeasance or crossed some sort of line, and all the people in that neighborhood, it was the Box Mountain neighborhood. If you know Winston-Salem, you know that. They were brought together, and there was a big old hog scalding pot. For those of you who aren't Southern, didn't grow up on a farm, a scalding pot is what you put the pork in, the pig, after it's been slaughtered, to scald off the skin and the hair off of the skin so that you can process the meat. It's a pretty grotesque thing. Well, apparently what they did was they took this living black person and they tied him up and they boiled him alive in this pot. And everyone in this little neighborhood, it was a big party. And this was in the early 70s, 1970s, when this story was told to me by my grandfather. I was under 10. His point was, I shouldn't view black people as human. So when you were fighting this new wave of fascism, this racist crap that is coming mainly from the South, but everywhere, it's in the Pacific Northwest, it's up north, it's all over, it's in Europe. Remember that who you were fighting. You were fighting people who see you as less than human. And when you do not believe someone is human, you don't have any qualms about doing things. Know your enemy. We need to get ready for the fight of humanity's life. The soul of our entire species is on the line. I challenge every white person out there who's ever heard a story like the scalding pot to share. Spread the word.
What is y'all's race or ethnicity?
Caucasian. Caucasian.
I could have guessed. If you guys could be one race for a day, what would you be and why?
We're the superior race, like not as in like that.
Oh, that's mad.
We are the That's the most German answer. I'm not gonna be like I want to be black because you guys have a terrible time of it.
Okay. So what would you be after that crazy answer?
I'll be mixed race.
Why, and why is that?
My ex-boyfriend was mixed race growing up, but he never got it.
Why are you running?
It'd be quite interesting to experience like what other people are going through. I don't know, like I've never had someone comment on my race as a white girl.
What did you think we were before you began to think of us as human beings?
Well, in a way, we thought of you almost as a very superior pet. Something, or rather someone, we had to take care of. Because we had to do so much of their thinking for them. We had to do almost everything for them that, except living their own lives. Anything outside, we had to do for them.
And see, this is the mindset of America still to this day. This is their words. This is the education system. This is the way that they were educated. And this is the way they were conditioned to view you. When Santa Claus is white, Jesus is white, all the inventors is white, anything associated with greatness is white, all the scientists and everything is white, based off their narrative, they're going to see themselves as the apex of all the races, as the superior of all the races, because they don't know anybody else's contribution. And that's done by the winners, the people the conquerors. They wipe out your history and only put their history out in front, so the masses are only educated to see themselves as first and everybody else as subordinates. And this is why they talk the way that they talk. So this ain't hate speech. This ain't me. This is me recording public record of what they say and the way that they think. So when they're your school teachers, when they're your firefighters, your doctors, your police officers, your social workers, a lot of them still think this way. They may go do their job, but they still view you the same way. This is why your skin is your sin. This is why if you have a business, there's a lot of living rooms that you can't even get into just because of your image. Your image. They see themselves as superior and you as something as a pet. Or your genetics is something that they can use. Man, it's just so much, man. But this is stuff that they say. This is stuff that they say. So they're telling you what's happening. So I advise you guys to take heed. You can't just come and become a Christian and plead the blood of Christ and not just forgive you. Or come and say you sorry. There has to be some form of recompense. There has to be some form of value passed back over to help rebuild what was destroyed by your people. And if somebody say that this is hate speech, then I guess that I'm the hate that hate produced. Even though I'm a child of the Most High, so I have no hate in me. But this is the truth on what they talk about. Not just him. People like P.W. Baltha, so many other, so many more. So many more. All right, so I'm going to cut this short here, man. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe, leave your comments in the comment section. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time, peace.